During the first part of Aubrey's muzzleloader hunt, you saw that after several days of hunting, she finally found a buck worth shooting. However, things didn't work out quite as planned, and we ended up having this big buck skylined. In hunter's education, they teach you not to take this shot, and we very hesitantly waited for a better shot. However, the buck then spooked, and we didn't get it. We found the herd of deer again, however, we could never find that big buck. We found a couple 3-point bucks that were sizing each other up, but that big 4-point just completely disappeared. Of course, they don't get big for being stupid, and at least for today, it got away. We went back the next day hoping we could find that big buck. However, after hours and hours of glassing the area, we could never find it. We did find some of the other smaller 3-points and 2-points that we'd seen the day before, but we couldn't find the big one. So then, with just one day left in the season, we headed for other areas. We actually saw lots of deer and more bucks, but none very big. Finally, as we glassed up on this particular hillside, I spotted what looked like a silhouette of a buck up on the skyline. Pulling out the spotting scope, I was able to confirm that it was a buck, and a 4-point at that. We watched it for some time trying to get it figured out. We were finally able to see that it was just an average 4-point buck. Pretty good fronts with weaker backs and not as wide as the ears. So once again, now it was Aubrey's turn to decide if she was willing to go for it. Finally spotted, as you saw, way up on a ridge, a 4-point that was bedded up. Not a big one, definitely not like the one that we did not get the shot on. So that still has some painful memories. But Aubrey, what's the plan here?
We're gonna go hike up the ridge and try to sneak up onto the crest and see if I can get a shot off at the buck.
Well, we had a 1,000-foot climb to get in on this buck. We felt there was a good route that would get us above it over here on the right and in range for a shot. As you can see now, we noticed that there were a few more deer bedded up as well, so we'd have to keep an eye out for them also. We loaded the gun at the truck, but waited to put the cap on just before getting to the spot we hoped to get a shot from. So back to this sneak, we were slowly creeping over the top, but before we were where we expected to see them, suddenly Aubrey noticed the deer about 50 yards over to the other side of the ridge.
Just spread it out.
They had either fed over while we were hiking or had winded us. Either way, the stalk was blown.
He's gone. Dang it. Well, that was a bust.
That, of course, was frustrating, but with daylight running out, we got off the mountain as fast as we could and drove over to the area we'd seen the big one in a few days before. With just hours left in the hunt, we had to make something happen. Heading up a small canyon road, we were surprised to see a couple deer cross the road in front of us about 100 yards up. We sat and watched several deer with multiple little bucks. It wasn't until Aubrey spotted this big 3-point that I even pulled out the camera. As we watched and considered our options, Aubrey decided that with just hours left in the hunt, she was good taking this big 3-point. With the decision made, we hopped out, grabbed the gun and shooting sticks, and tried to set up for a shot. Timing didn't work out before the deer had fed out of sight and over the round of the hill, so we grabbed our packs and took off after them. As expected, they weren't far, and we found them quickly. With them located again, we made a game plan and quickly put it in action. Just before getting to our predetermined shooting spot, Aubrey once again put a cap on and we made the final sneak. It took a little maneuvering among the rocks and mahogany we were hiding in to have an angle to the buck as they had moved a bit, but finally things were coming in place.
Putting that other thing under you. Do you feel good or you want to use it?
The smaller buck fed right in the way just as she was planning to shoot, so she had to wait for it to move.
Yeah, the back one. As soon as it walks past. Okay, you're good now. You got him, you got him.
It was hit all right, but not down for good. We had to get in and make one more shot to finish it off, and the hunt was over.
It's down now, so way to go.
All right, so here is Aubrey's very hard-earned mule deer buck. It's a nice buck, you know, as far as 3-points go and things. It's definitely not a huge buck. Nothing like that really big one that we were hoping to find over here. It has a broken off point. Aubrey likes shooting animals with broken points, it seems, but you know, pretty good wide buck. You know, as far as 3 points again go. When you're at the end of the season, though, that's kind of what happened. What do you think, Aubrey, of this muzzleloader hunt?
It's a challenge, but I'm up for it.
She's up for about anything. So this is a fun way to wrap up the hunt. You know, we made some memories here that we'll talk about for a long time. She's a senior this year. Who knows what she's going to be doing next year. I don't know how many more hunts I have with her. So this was a good, fun way to end this hunting season. Congratulations, Aubrey. Way to go.
Thank you.
If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to the Outdoor Youth Challenge YouTube channel.